Bonjour, in this lesson we are going to see two English words, this and that. So how to translate these two words in French. We're going to see it with myself, Pascal, your French tutor, and FrenchSpanishOnline.com. So, two words in English and three words in French. But actually, we don't mind the difference between this and that in English. It's not the same here for these three words. We've got ce, the first one, ce. We've got c'est and cette. So three words, and we are going to see now how to use them to translate this and that. Let's start with ce. Ce, we use it when we have after a masculine word starting with a consonant. So, for example, livre, book, start with a consonant, L. It is masculine in French, so if you want to say this book or that book, in French you will say ce livre, ce livre. Another example with phone, téléphone in French, this or that phone is ce téléphone, ce téléphone. And finally, ce stylo, this pen, ce stylo to translate this or that pen. Okay? So this is the first word, and as you can see, ce is the translation of that and this. Now we've got the second word, the pronunciation alone is c'est, but we use c'est with masculine words too, this time starting with a vowel or a plugged H. Let's start with the first example. Ami, ami is friend for boy, so if you want to say this or that friend, in French you will say cet ami. And of course, because you've got here a consonant and a vowel, there is a liaison between the two words, ta, cet ami, cet ami. Another example, this time with the plugged H. Why plugged? Because there is a connection between the two words, so cet homme, here again there is a liaison, cet homme. And finally, cet arbre, arbre starts with a vowel and is masculine, so this tree or that tree is cet arbre in French. Okay, this is the second word, c'est or cette. It is what you hear with the connection. Let's see now the last one, cette, and you understand that this third word is just for feminine, whatever the first letter is. So cet ami, for example, here we've got ami with the letter E, so it's a girl, she is a girl, ami, and we've got a connection. So the pronunciation actually is the same as before. The context will help you. Cet ami to say this, she friend, or that friend. Another example, cette voiture, voiture for car. Voiture in French is feminine, so this or that car is cette voiture, cette voiture. And cette école with the liaison for school, which is a feminine word. Okay? So here, three words, ce, c'est, cette. But actually, if there is a confusing situation, you can stress the difference between the two words this and that. In this case, in French, you need to add at the end of the noun the word si or la. Si to translate this and la to translate that. Let's see how it works. For example, here you've got the choice between two books. The first one is nearer, so of course you are going to say this book, and the other one that book. And because here you've got two books and a confusing situation, in French you can make the difference adding si for this, so ce livre-ci, this book, and ce livre-là, that book. Ce livre-ci, ce livre-là. Sometimes when it's a bit far, you can use the expression over there instead of là, so you will say ce livre là-bas. But here, actually, ce livre-ci, ce livre-là, and don't forget the hyphen. So the same thing now for any word we've got. You can add si. For example, we've got this man here and another man there. So this man is cet homme-ci, and that man, cet homme-là. Cet ami-ci, and cet ami-là. Okay? So you use actually ci and la when the situation is confusing because you have the choice between several things or people. But when it's clear, actually, you can just say cet ami. Okay? So now you need to know, to finish, the plural form. The plural form in English are these and those, and in French we just got one form. This form is c'est. You see the pronunciation? C'est. The same pronunciation as before actually. C-E-T, the same pronunciation, but here the liaison will be different because of the letter S. So c'est is used, for example, with masculine form, masculine words starting with a vowel, and here, so these or those friends, you will have, of course, the liaison between the two words, and you will say ses amis, ses amis. And if you want to stress, of course, you can add ci and la, ses amis ci, ses amis là. The same thing for ses livres. This time we've got a masculine word starting with the consonant, but we don't mind. We use ses livres, these books, those books, and ces livres-ci, ces livres-là. Another example with the feminine word fille, girls, so ces filles, these girls or those girls, and if you want to stress the difference, ces filles-ci, ces filles-là. Okay? So actually, at the end of the lesson, you know three words, ce, c'est, cette for singular words, and c'est for all plural words in French. Well, I think now, c'est fini. Alors, au revoir et bon français!